I'm having what I would call serious first world problems. South Florida, loving life. I've been working on the beach in the mornings, writing my book, working on other things, doing research, typing, taking pictures and video, just having a great time doing what I do. And it's in the middle of July. Today's July 12th, I think, something like that. And it's just hot. I would take this over snow any day, but it's hot here right now. And aside from being hot and sweating like I do, because there are some derogatory phrases about how people sweat, and you can probably apply all of those to me, but the bugs are crazy right now. So a couple nights ago, Tammy had taken Molly out for a walk and said the bugs were really bad. So when I took her out before bed, I just grabbed the leash, walked outside without my shirt on, and something nailed me in the back that hurt. So I just swatted it away, went on, walked the dog, kind of forgot about it. Yesterday I had a little itch, went to scratch my back, and I have like a piece of skin that's like an inch in diameter that's totally missing. Like something took a chunk of skin off of my back last night. I don't know if it was a horse fly or what, but it hurt. The no-see-ums are eating my ankles up, so some bug spray took care of that so far, so that's gotten better. But there are a lot of bugs here right now, and it makes it difficult to do a video outside, to say the least. So this morning I went down to my usual spot on the beach over by Sanibel Island to set up and work on my book, do some research, type, and was only able to be there for about an hour because of the bugs. Now we're getting used to things down here in Florida when it comes to the wildlife, the bugs, and a whole lot more, but this is really pretty intense. Now back home I was someone who, when I would go out in the evenings, the mosquitoes historically would just hammer me. I mean, I would come in sometimes looking like I had a disease or something with so many bumps on me for being attacked by mosquitoes. For whatever reason, that hasn't been a problem for a while. Maybe it's because I don't play outside at night anymore, I don't know. And I really hadn't had that problem here in Florida to a degree. And then this morning I'm down there by the water working and didn't realize that there was a couple little pieces of dead fish or something. Maybe there was a lot of activity there this weekend, so somebody's probably fishing, and little pieces of dead fish or something kind of near where I was. And when the sun came up and the sun hit it and it started to put off an odor, the flies and birds moved in. Gnats were all over the place. It was 80 degrees at 7 o'clock this morning. You know, I think the weather says it's like 50-60% humidity, but it feels like 150% here in the tropic area of South Florida. And there's so much sunshine, it makes it hard to get good video. You have to get the right angle. And I actually wanted to do this video with the lake behind me, but I had to turn around because of the position of the sun. So I wanted to do it like this, but you see I'm dark if I do it that way. So I have to do it over here. And serious first world problems. I hate it, but I love that I have these types of problems, not a lot of others. There's a lot of people out there that are hurting and going through a lot. So I always try to keep that in perspective because I've been there. And I know that while I was there, there were people out loving life and everything. And, you know, worked hard to get out of it. But it's just interesting now as we move into what is part of the year, the weather that we absolutely love. You know, we love this heat, humidity, and everything. I'll take this over snow any day, but it's just fun to learn and get used to a new environment when it comes to that. So I also decided it's time for me to start getting things in gear and start working more on what I'm working on. And you know, I've enjoyed the weather and everything here in Florida enough. Now that it's so hot, I'll probably be spending a little bit more time inside working and start getting some things done. So stay tuned. You know, I'm not going to share a lot about what I'm working on. I don't even know what I'm working on really right now to a degree, but I know it'll turn into something. And I've got 3 or 4 things happening that I'm working on. Going to plan out our trip to Vegas in the fall in October. Printing United, which used to be the SGIA conference, is there in October. So we're planning to be there and attend that show. And moving into next year, maybe later this year, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But it's fun to think about getting started again, getting motivated to get up early and get work done rather than enjoying my evenings and watching the Reds games and staying up a little later sometimes and sleeping in a little bit. We've done that for several weeks now that we've been down here, although it's not been unproductive. Let me tell you, I've done a lot of work since we've been here, and really happy with it. I feel like I haven't gotten anything done because I've also had so much fun and enjoyed the place so much. It's hard to believe you could live somewhere like this. We ask ourselves all the time why we were such fools when we were young and did not move down here. But it is what it is. We wouldn't have the life we have today probably if we had. So just being thankful for what we have and being thankful for our first world problems. Noah called home the other day from boot camp. If you will follow me, my stepson is at boot camp right now. He's in the Army National Guard and he opted to go to boot camp. So he's sweating it out right now. He's getting ready to start the hardest part, which is the forge, and seems to be doing quite well with it. But we asked him what the worst part of it was so far, and he said the people. And we never really thought too much about that, but it really comes down to being thrust into an environment where you have no control over the people that you're around, that you're with every day, and that you depend on. And so they're in this environment, like I said, where they have no control over the people that they're around. And when you think about it, Noah went to a private school in Louisville, went to all through elementary, K through 8, and then through high school. And so he wasn't forced to be around a really wide range of people from different social classes. And I think that was probably something that I experienced throughout life, not all at once. And I grew up poor, worked hard to get to where I was at. I've been fortunate enough to be able to experience the lowest of being extremely poor, and then having some success and being able to associate with people who've done very well for themselves and working to better myself to get there. But that took some 25 or 30 years for that to happen. And when you go to boot camp, after he told us that, and I really thought about it, I thought about the psychology of being thrust into an environment where you have no control over who you're around, who you're with, who you depend on, and building that trust as part of that team with those people from all over. And he's there, with people, probably people who are extremely well off and went into the military voluntarily, all the way to people who probably did it to have to avoid going to jail. So it's the whole gamut of people from all walks of life and all experiences of life. And the Army's goal was to get everyone who came in to come out and be very similar in how they think, how they work, and how they operate, and really kind of break them of their habits. And then I think about how in everyday life we still choose who we're around for the most part. We don't like it a lot of times at work because we work at our job and we have no choice but to work with the people that are around us, although there's a certain degree of vetting that happens. So people generally don't get jobs or keep jobs long term if they're not a quality employee and a quality person that works out well for the benefit of the company. But then when we leave work, there is a very large percentage of everyone we're around, everyone we associate with, our friends, even our family, that we choose to be around or not be around on a daily basis. So think about that. These kids have gone into this environment and have been thrust into literally no control over anything in their lives. They're given what they're given. They're allowed to have a few things that we can send to them or that they can buy in the PX, but for the most part, they're told this is the way it is and you do what I say. Now Noah was already a pretty squared away kid when it comes to most things, so it'll be interesting to see how this has changed him or how it's affected him, or maybe if it increases his sense of awareness of certain things, or how he thinks and looks at things, and maybe even how he he solves problems or something. But it'll be interesting to see here in a few weeks how he is when he comes out, and then for the few months after that, because I would imagine there's a period of time where things have to wear off a little bit, and you have to get over the really traumatic level of what you were forced to do in basic training. So we're looking forward to him graduating in early August and going down for that, and then the time that we'll get to spend with him before he goes back to college. And of course my daughter Tatum has stayed at college this summer and worked, so proud of her for making that choice rather than just taking the summer off like a lot of kids do, and working hard to have her own spending money and everything. So pretty proud of these kids right now in the path that they're on in life. So my little first world problems I'm whining about seem pretty insignificant when you think about those